Hey, what's going on, guys? In this wolongfallendynasty video, I'm going to explain how magic works. Magic in this game is called wizardry, and it comes in 5 different virtues: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. The way that you learn spells is by leveling up at a flag post that you plant in different zones of the game. When you level up, you can choose a virtue to add points to by spending genuine chi. Leveling up virtues also helps your character in different aspects. Wood governs your HP and spirit loss when attacked. Fire affects the amount of spirit gained when attacking and the amount of spirit consumed by martial arts. Earth affects your equipment weight limit and the amount of spirit gained when deflecting attacks. Metal affects the duration that a high level of spirit can be maintained for and the spirit consumed by wizardry spells. And water affects how easily enemies detect you and the amount of spirit consumed when deflecting attacks. So when you reach a flag post that you've planted and go into the menu, you'll need to first decide what magic spells you'll want to learn. Now, just as a day one heads up tip, I would suggest letting your early magic choices be defined by what type of enemies you're facing, such as a fire boss that's weak to water, get water spells, or for a metal boss, use fire. There's something in the game called 5 phases affinities, and it's basically a what element counters what sort of thing. You can check these whenever you want in the documents tutorial, but for now, the phases are as follows. Wood beats earth, earth beats water, water beats fire, fire beats metal, and metal beats wood. But when you want to learn a spell, first you go to a post, select wizardry spells, and from there you can either learn or set spells. You will only set spells once you learn them. To learn spells, you will need to meet a few requirements. For instance, to learn the level 1 lightning bolt spell, you need to have at least 1 rank in wood virtue, which means that when you level up, you need to put at least 1 rank in wood virtue. On the Learn Wizardry screen, you'll see a number displayed at the top of the screen in the virtue circle that you're currently looking at. This number is basically how many spells you can learn in that spell category. But just because you can learn that many spells doesn't mean that you'll automatically be able to use them. On the right hand corner of the screen, you can see a video window of the spell you're looking at in action. There are 3 numbers there. The number next to the star displays how many ranks you have in that spell category. The next number to the right displays the amount of morale rank you'll need to cast that spell. And the next number to that is how much spirit it will cost you to actually cast the spell out on the field. So if you see a spell that looks interesting that you'd like to learn, level up that virtue to select it. If it's higher up on the grid, you'll have to learn each spell that leads up to that spell first. Now, to actually cast spells in the game, you'll need to have enough morale to do so. One of my favorite spells in the game so far is Flame Weapon, and it requires my morale to be at 7 to use it, which means when I'm out on the field and in zones, even though I can put it on my spell palette, it might be grayed out until I can get my morale up to level 7, and only then will it become usable. The way that you get your morale up is by defeating enemies. The flashier the elimination, the more your morale wheel will go up. If you take damage, your morale wheel will go down and the spell will be unavailable. Whenever you reach a new flag post that you can level up and rest at is where you'll respawn when you die. For right now, it looks like when you die and return to that flag post, you'll keep the same morale that you had when you first placed your banner down. So if you reach a new flag post and place down your banner with a 4 morale, when you die and you return, you will once again have that same 4 morale. So it seems like a good idea to get your morale up as high as you can so that you can use all of your spells whenever you die and return there. To select what spells you want to use after you've chosen them, head to the Set Spells menu in Wizardry Spells and you can hotkey them however you like. On the PlayStation controller to cast spells, you hold down the R2 button and press triangle, circle, square, or X, whichever corresponds to the spell that you placed on the spell palette. Now, when you're first starting out, a few spells I would consider investing in are Absorb Vitality in the Wood Virtue. Basically, when you cast this spell and attack enemies, you get health back with each successful attack. It's not a crazy amount of health back, but it's better than getting no health back at all. In the Earth Virtue, Enhanced Defense is a huge help because it makes you take less damage and stops you from flinching from some powerful attacks. In the Water phase, Alacrity Haste is really good because it speeds you up for a small amount of time. It seems really good for getting the first attack on enemies or speeding through zones without having to deal with enemies. When it comes to attack spells, I think all of the elemental weapon spells are really the way to go early game. I spent time farming one enemy in the early game to get the Flame Sword spell, and it made fighting everything a lot easier. Alright, so that's it. If this video was able to help you in any way, please give it a like. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. My name is Ventus, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
crispy. Yeah, that boy brisk me. Head to toe, I'm gleaming. Yeah, I know they can't miss me. See a boy a mile away, my head tank.